It is 8:30 and I'd like to call a meeting to order. Before we start, supervisors, please go over the bills. Secondly, first item on the agenda is to acknowledge the minutes from May 18th, May 27th, and June 5th.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is to meet with the courthouse maintenance supervisor.
Yes, that'd be me.
Morning, Dave.
Oh. A couple weeks ago, we had a problem with the sanitary drainage station. Thought the problem was resolved, but and last week we had an incident where we ended up with about 75 gallons of raw sewage on the basement floor. And we managed to get rid of the blockage that was causing that. But the core problem down there is that when we did the bathroom renovations, we replaced the toilets and flush valves. We got rid of the 2.5 gallons per flush. And we went with a company for the flush valves, which is not real high on the list of preferred contract. And subsequently, what we're getting now is 1.2 gallons per flush. And it's inadequate for the building. That's a couple of problems, because the 2.5s are probably not going to be available anymore because of the efforts to save water in this country. We might be able to get up to 1.5. The other problem that we're going to have with that is that the current flush valves are paired up with the force one. So when we replace the flush valve, we'll have to replace the force one. Now the cost for doing that when the bathrooms were remodeled was $10,000. And here we are 2.5 years down the road from that. You can imagine what they might cost now. And then we also have the issue of dealing with the 90s in the sanitary line as it leaves the building. That has to be also repaired. So the plumber right now is looking to see if he can come up with some kind of a solution to take care of the problem. But as it stands right now, this is going to be a reoccurring problem until everything is fixed. And right now, we don't know what the fix is. The only thing you can do right now is maybe once a day, maybe when myself or whoever my replacement is comes in, that they stand there and run 50, 60 gallons of water through the system from the back end to try and flush out what's ever in there. But that's really what kicking the problem down the road is all it's doing. So I'll keep you posted on whatever we find, but that's where that stands at the moment. We had a toilet issue over at DHS that required the pump to be replaced. It took a while to get a contractor in there. I tried several different other contractors in town. Nobody was available. I assume they weren't available because they didn't return my phone calls. So right now we have one plumber and it's going to be when he's available. We could have replaced the whole unit over there, pump, toilet, everything, because it's sold as a package, which would have been $3,600. Instead, we're getting the parts to fix it, which would be considerably less money. So, and then I got a call this morning that we have another toilet down over there. So now the only toilets on site are the two that are in DHS. So I get out of here, I'll go over and try and get the other one back in service. But the one that's replacing the pump is supposed to be fixed tomorrow. So you guys might get a couple calls today. I'm aware of it. I don't need to hear any more about it, if you don't mind. And I met with 3 engineers Thursday night, thanks to Jacqueline and her husband. We went up the clock tower. gears made. I don't know what the cost is. I told him to go ahead and do it. Initially, he thought one of the gears would be $360, so the hope is that we stand her $1,000 with it. But it's something that we have to do because of the cracks in the plastic clock base up there. They have to be repaired. And the only way to do that is from the outside. And I'm also going to see when we get the 125-foot lift over here, I'm going to try and work with the city to cut the dead branches out of this tree back here, but that 125 will put somebody up there and they won't have to remove the tree. And that's all I got on that crap. I know you've been anxious for my final day. My final day for cleaning and regular duties will be June 30th. After that, I'll work to complete whatever projects I've got. That includes repainting the bottom end of the boiler room, basement storage, south side, complete the painting in there. Backup generator, repair the clock, and the other one was to get that sanitary drain at 90 degrees, those 490 degrees, taken out of the sanitary drain and replace with 45s. I'll have to find a contractor for that because our plumber is unwilling to crawl through an 18-inch hole and dig out 3 yards of dirt. That's all I got.
Thank you, Dave.
What did you do then yesterday? No, I'm just kidding.
Do you guys have any questions?
No, we need to tie this thing off on the 30th.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate that.
Next item is to meet with the county engineer. Morning, Dwight.
Good morning, Supervisors. Lots of water in the ditches today.
Not my brain week. One day. Wow. In my gauge,
That's
How much did you say?
2.8.
have a report that 200 west of Nutmeg has a spot that was underwater for a little while. It's either dry or it's wet. We don't seem to have a whole lot in between. We'll be hauling rock today, and we were going to pick up the reclaimer from Drish Construction for doing some patchwork on Juniper. But as wet as it is, we don't really want to open that up, so we'll delay that a bit. So this week, it looks like we're just going to be hauling rock and kind of fixing soft spots. On Libertyville Road, should be doing the edge line and center line rumble strips, and if it's fit, they'll try and start reinstalling signs. So hopefully by this time next week, they'll be ready to put stripes on the road. We'll see how Mother Nature treats us between now and then. Then we'll keep monitoring Pleasant Plain Road temperatures, activate that binder oil in there and start using up through and making a mess. Do our best to keep that under control. Not the ideal solution, but it's about all we can do with what we have.
I did have a comment over the weekend about the Libertyville Road, how smooth it was.
They did a real good job on it.
And it did, putting asphalt down.
Yeah, that's I'm glad we're where we are on that.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're actually pretty close to right on schedule, and Mother Nature cooperated, so by 4th of July weekend, it should be open to all traffic. See how it goes between now and then.
So they're going to do the striping or we are?
There. Yeah, that'll have As part of the safety money we're getting from the state, we're putting 6-inch stripes on it. Which between the stripes and the rumble strips, and the paved shoulder, we're getting $500,000 from safety money from the state for that. And then going forward, we'll look at applying for those safety. We've also got a safety grant for work on 110th, and we'll look at going down, putting 2-foot shoulders on some of our high-risk sections of road that were identified with our safety grant program that we picked up here earlier this year. So, a lot of stuff to do. We'll just keep plugging away. And on a different topic, you guys were discussing the data center ordinance. I spoke with my sister over the weekend, who's a council person in the town of Fairfax up in Lynn County. And her impression on that is the Lynn County ordinance was onerous enough that the data centers were approaching the towns so that they could get lighter restrictions than what the county was requiring.
We did have a copy from,
Yeah, you have a
From
copy.
Lynn County.
Yeah, you have a copy. of the
Yeah,
Lynn
as
County.
I mentioned, that one is the strictest one, definitely in the state, maybe even in the country, so that's why I provided that to you guys.
Okay.
thank you, Elizabeth.
Next item on the, are you,
So, we toured the other day, did the road tour, road tours or roads tour. And obviously one of them that we went and looked at specifically was Rock Lockridge Road going east out of Lockridge. We went through into Henry County as well. I'm curious, because I know you mentioned about the trucks coming in down that road. Can we embargo that road and prevent those trucks from coming down that road?
Well, yes, you can.
Is it logical?
The concrete under that road is 100 years old, so yeah, it's logical. That's the downside of that. And if you embargo that road, then that traffic would most likely come in straight through Lockridge, south from the 4-lane.
That,
So you're just gonna redirect it.
well, and I understand that and mayor's here, but the reason I say that is because they're going down the 4-lane, now they're gonna have to comply with law.
Mhm.
And they're not complying with law now, my understanding. They're not tying their loads down, they're overloaded. And whether or not they get caught coming down the highway, of course, I don't know, but I don't know, what do you?
And speeding through town, which I got multiple complaints about the Adams company. So I called directly to the company after I called the sheriff. And told them they were not complying with the speed limit. And I've contacted deputies and told them to fine them at the maximum amount, take their license, I don't care, but we've got kids in town. I don't wanna wait till one gets killed
Mhm.
to do something about it. And man, the traffic has really slowed down and they're going out the other way to go on Salina Road. And so they must have got the message.
Mhm.
But I told them, told the cops not to sit there and look pretty, to do your job and write tickets. So he said, do you know who's doing it? And I said, a couple of the young drivers. And so that's all I know, but we're,
Moving east.
they was coming in from the east and going west and then underpass
Right.
and out. But just barreling through town, it was ridiculous. And the East Main Road, the edges are crumbling, there's potholes, it's a mess. And but the truck traffic has slowed down some, but yeah, it was ridiculous. It was like, hey, take this route, you know? Like,
Well, and
no,
that's my question. So I agree with you that, and this is so why I'm asking you, the preference you would have as far as coming up past the old school and
well, that road is a lot more solid and I think it's just gonna be a continual problem with East Main Street
Mhm.
unless it's done stronger or right or something, because it's just been a problem ever since it's been redone. And then you get the trucks on there and they're bouncing and dropping stuff on the sides and it's, yeah.
so I don't know how we go about doing that, but
Yeah, we can embargo it at the county line.
And we can give them tickets coming in from that way just as easy.
And the city, I believe the city can post it as not a truck route. If you choose. So, and we're put a load limit on it because that,
so my question is, do we have a lot of ag use on that road?
I love what?
Ag use.
Yes.
So how do we?
as when, remember when we were discussing 146, the embargo applies, as I remember, the embargo applies to commercial vehicles, not ag use, not, you know, if it's ag-related feed, grain, you know, manure,
Okay,
the embargo does not apply. The 90-day embargo, like we put on kale, applies to all loads.
Right.
But if you put a load limit on a road, it strictly applies to commercial vehicles that are not related to agricultural processes.
so can we get that on the agenda then
As soon as we can.
to do? And then you determine what you think that needs to be. So that'll be on next week's.
And do you have any plans for East Main Street, fixing all that?
Just
It's on the list, right?
repair.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's a long list, but yeah, we're East Main, Pleasant Plain Road, Packwood Road,
Who painted the center line? Were
on,
they drunk?
I asked that the other day.
on,
Or was
East
it because
Main.
it was so bumpy and it threw it off? I don't know.
I think he just had trouble figuring, because he went out and offset and put points every 100 feet, so I don't know if he just, if his attention
Don't
wandered or what,
pinstripe
but
it.
usually he does a pretty good job on it.
Just asking.
I get a chuckle because I asked the same.
Next item on the agenda is to discuss and consider a temporary speed limit decrease to 45 mile per hour for the Pleasant Plain Road from Fairfield city limits to 167th from June 8th to September 15th.
I'll be over this cold by then.
Satisfied with that, Elaine?
I'm not satisfied that we have to do it, but I think it's the right thing to do to, so as the temperatures heat up and until that binder in the road gets a chance to kind of work its way out and cure, we're going to be applying shifts to the traffic lane. And that way we'll hopefully minimize damage to windshields and paint jobs.
So I moved to reduce the speed to 45.
I second that motion.
Can we discuss this?
Sure. Sure.
Well, I said last year when we had this conversation about chip seal, the truck traffic, I asked if there was gonna be monitors that count trucks, count cars, the load. Calling it a farm to city road, whatever the terms are, should have been looked at. I don't think anything started in a year. So if we're gonna talk about chip seal and dropping rocks, maybe we slow the truck traffic down. Make it go slower than regular cars. That's the problem with windshields and the dirt, is the trucks that are flying through there causing other problems. So if you're gonna talk speed limit, talk both. Change it for the trucks. Change it for the volume. You're gonna talk about Lockbridge and an embargo. Look at everything.
I don't know for sure if we can do that, but we can certainly look into it.
Well,
I
certainly
don't
the
know.
speed limit aspect of it, obviously, they would be required to follow the same
But
dictates
it's-
as everybody else.
And plenty of highways say cars and trucks and have two different numbers. Nothing stopping you from doing that on Pleasant Plain.
That's true too. I never thought about that, but that's true too. There are places where you have speed limits on trucks as opposed to speed limits on cars.
I don't know if we do that in Iowa.
I
We
don't-
can look, I'll certainly look into it.
If you're gonna say that the problem is windshields and throwing rocks, it's because of the trucks more than cars.
Yeah, I'm clearly open to suggestions, but I have to defer to. And again, I hadn't thought about the dual speed limits.
I'll see what I can find.
So one of the things maybe we do, I don't know if. See if, John's on, so, maybe we can, I hate to, will misunderstand how this sounds, jail or sheriff, but I hate to tie up deputies for run radar, so to speak, but maybe that's what we do to get the message across.
I think that would help. Even if you just do it for a while.
So what happens September 15th?
It's the speed limit can change or we can leave it, I guess.
I mean, is there a plan for a permanent solution here?
Well, I think the hope, to be perfectly honest with you, and you know, I understand that's not necessarily what anybody wants to hear. But that is what I'm looking for, that tip of my tongue, but anyway, the issue settles out. I don't know, that's not the word I want to use, but it eventually that stops rising top and it becomes a permanent process.
Much like Salina Road.
Yeah,
That eventually the material, the basically kerosene that they cut back the liquid asphalt with to make it pumpable at lower temperatures has to evaporate. And because of the problems we had with that, we ended up putting more oil and chips on to fill ruts. So there's an extra amount of binder in there that needs to cure out. And we did that last application last year in September, so it really didn't have warm weather to cook the volatiles out of the diesel fuel, out of the kerosene. So by late summer with hot temperatures that we get in the summer, that should evaporate out. We did the same thing on Vedic City 3 years ago. And for the next summer after that, we had to keep blotting it. You live on
It's
that.
a 2-year process. That's a good road now.
Yeah, it just,
No, it's not.
unfortunately, it takes time.
So you're
So
saying we're gonna be doing chip sealing for 2 years?
We'll be doing this all this summer. Next summer, we may have, right at the start of the year when it gets up to 100 degrees, we might.
So why did Libertyville get a new road and Pleasant Plain is way more populated? And we have to deal with this ongoing. It just doesn't seem right.
well, I think in part, we're not necessarily comparing apples to apples, and I understand the dissatisfaction, but in the case of Libertyville Road, that road had become unsafe. In the case of Pleasant Plain Road, what we were trying to do was preserve the existing surface before it gets dilapidated or whatever, so.
And now it's
So
unsafe.
now it's
So
unsafe.
Libertyville Road was,
It's,
same
Little bit
reason
better.
we did Germanville Road. Germanville Road was patently unsafe, was not safe to drive.
but Pleasant Plain Road is used so much more with Cambridge there, that's a small town. So it's
I don't think the cost last year, when it was said the cost for asphalt layering and the cost for chip seal was an accurate conversation, because if you're spending 2 years
right.
with labor and rocks and chip seal and stuff, we need to do a better job of budgeting and comparing apples to apples before we just say we're gonna chip seal every road in the county, which is a phrase that was used last year.
Well, we don't, I'm not to argue, because I'm not wanting to argue, but in our local road budget, we don't budget for roads in terms of these big road projects. So these budgets for these big road projects are accumulated over several years. The most recent that I can give you is we've got a project in the 5-year plan for Packwood Road north of Brookville. And that's a 2029 project, and we're using federal dollars. And I sat on the Regional Planning Transportation Affiliate Board. And we get, when I say we, the 6 counties that are involved in that, we get allocated so much in terms of federal dollars each year. And so each of the entities, meaning the 6 counties, have to plan projects, and then, not to get too deep in the weeds, but each county then is allotted so much money to put in the bank. And so we're putting money in the bank, if you will, now to do that 2029 project. The only local dollars, if that's what you want to call it, that would be involved in is any match that we might have to apply. Or if you consider farm to market money, which is state money, as local dollars, so really it isn't. So it's a combination, and then any grant money that we get. And so it takes years to get to a point where we can do something like that. And in the case of Pleasant Plain Road, when we did that in 2011, it was literally $1 million. Roughly, what is it, 3.5 miles from the edge of town to Cambridge? I don't know the exact mileage.
Well, don't say Cambridge. It goes farther than
Yeah,
Cambridge.
Well, no, I'm just trying to put it in perspective. It's comparable to the distance from where we started on Key Boulevard going in to Libertyville. Now, ultimately, yes, we're doing shoulders, which we didn't do on Pleasant Plain Road. We had to put in guardrails according to the feds when we used federal dollars. That's how those guardrails ended up there, was because the federal government required it in that project. But my point is that this Libertyville Road project is 4.9 million. So the cost to do those 2 roads would be very comparable, not necessarily exactly the same, but very comparable. And it takes years to accumulate that money. Plus, to accumulate that money, we can't just decide, okay, we're going to do this road, we do that road. By law, we're required to have all of those plans in place way ahead of time, be able to direct those funds that we're accumulating in that bank that I was telling you about to a specific project. And I'm not saying, and Dwayne can speak to this much better than I can, but I'm not saying that we can't take a detour and go into a different situation if circumstances dictate. But I also understand that that's not something that you can just snap your fingers and do. And
Agreed. 2011 to 2025 is 14 years. His comment last year was that the road Pleasant Plain was 6 out of 10. And I asked, why did we do the road 6 out of 10? So if you're saying all these years to build up money, you're already at 14 and you used 40%. How many more years do you need to save to plan if you're going 14 years?
But the.
That sounds like a long time. It's not tomorrow.
But when we talk about these roads, for example, the federal dollars that we're getting, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, the Packwood Road project is a $7 million project. And we're getting what, $1.5 million in federal money?
Actually, right now, we're not getting anything in federal money. We'll continue to apply for community project funds through Representative Miller Meek's office for most of that, but we're doing, $1.5 million is what we've got planned up on the STBG money, which is
Yeah.
the board that you said.
We got what, 1.4 million, 1.5 million for Libertyville Road in federal dollars.
Of the
And that takes,
STBG, yeah.
and what I'm saying is that that's a small amount of, it's not anywhere close to the entire cost of the project. And it takes years to get that small amount of money accumulated. And so in answer to your question, Jeff, which is probably not an answer you want to hear, but if I start saving for Pleasant Plain Road, so to speak, in that fund, then there's nothing else that I can do in the interim other than go out. We can bond. Jefferson County, for the most part, not entirely, but for the most part, has been a pay-as-you-go county. We did bond 7, 8 years ago for $6 million, and we did Brookville, the actual Brookville payment going out to Packwood, a portion of Pleasant Plain Road north of Cambridge, Germanville Road, Vetch Boulevard, and Packwood Road south of Brookville.
Yeah.
And of course, we're still paying that off. It's about half paid off. We bonded several years back to do Osage. It's paid off now, but I don't want to say instant money, but quick project money where we can have all of the funds to do a project. The only way we can really do that without accumulating over years is to bond. But even by the same token, before we legally can bond, we have to have a project in place and designed and ready to be let for bid. And so I know that's not the answer you want to hear. It's just we've got so many bridges and roads that are not anything to jump up and down about. And we try to preserve a road service that, and the preservation process, if you will, came back and bit us in the butt. And if you'll pardon the pun, it was a perfect storm, literally, in terms of water and heat and all the other things, and trying to, I think probably we overcompensated for those things in the short term. Because I know you don't like this either, but it doesn't solve or it doesn't answer your question. But I call it the Dowds Road, but I point to the Libertyville Road, the Dowds Road. And it's immaculate. Which is what we hoped that everything else had turned out to be, but the Lockreed Road didn't. Road bed was a little bit different there. And this, the Pleasant Plain Road, I mean, I can go back in 20/20 hindsight and agree with you 150%. At this point, I'd have just assumed we left it alone.
Yes.
Okay, I don't disagree with that, but I can't undo that in that aspect, at least in its entirety. I don't. Because I'm afraid even if we were able to go in and somehow or another grind all that off and get back down to the blacktop, I think we probably would have hurt the blacktop in the process. I don't know. I don't have that level of expertise, just logic dictates to me. Trying to peel something off doesn't really help what was underneath it when we put it on top, if that makes sense. I don't.
I can't be the only one frustrated with
No.
Pleasant Plain Road. And I'm not, this is for all people driving up and down that road.
It's not safe.
Like, it had ruts before the chip seal went down
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago. We all knew the ruts were gonna happen. And you're gonna use 4,000-pound trucks, you're gonna create more ruts. You're gonna have more truck traffic creating ruts. So either change the road classification, which has to start with the supervisors we researched last year. You guys gotta get on board. You wanna change it, do something else. What did we learn? Did we change anything in our procedures for the other roads for the people in this county? Or are we still operating under that same guise? You can explain away perfect storm, but did it change any behaviors from last year in doing other roads?
Well, we're not doing the same type of process this year, so I mean, in terms of, the roads, we've done a lot of seal coat over the years. Seal coat isn't, I mean, Salina Road, I can't think off the top of my head how long Salina Road's been.
2014.
So with 12 years, we put that seal on top, that black top there. No, I will agree with you that the seal is not the end all, but we just simply are limited. The cost of everything continues to go up. The reason we did the bridge on Libertyville Road this last year was because we got a grant to do it. And it took forever to get that funded. And we're not the Lone Ranger in that. I don't mean that we're unique in any way, shape, or form. We are limited on our revenue sources. And I reiterate that while your property taxes are very high, your property taxes don't do road projects for the most part. We do contractor off, that sort of thing, sand, salt, patching. But major road projects require outside funding sources, which is generally federal, state, and grants. And those plans have to be in place. I don't know if you remember a few years back that when President Obama was in and they had that big infrastructure bill that passed and all that money, but you had to have shovel-ready projects before that money would be allocated to you. Well, nobody does shovel-ready projects if they don't have money in the bank to do. And so that's where we're at. There were a few entities out there that had some projects ready to go, and they redirected their funding that they were going to use for that for other uses, and were able to use that infrastructure money. As far as moving forward, the only thing I know to do, not know to do, but the only thing I know that we could do that's different than what we've done is do an asphalt overlay on that. And I don't have the $4 million to do that.
But how much more are we continuing to spend when we have to re-gravel the road and then apply the other on it? How much was that in the budget that would have to be done multiple times?
The chips that the maintenance that we're doing on it is a relatively small amount. It's a little time, a little bit of material. The application of chips is 6 loads.
And now the county's doing that instead of the other company.
Mhm.
So that's, yeah, just.
That's a pile of rock you got out there.
And no, that's for the gravel roads. Because we had the road project going on, Juniper was gonna be closed, so we knew we wouldn't be able to get conveniently to the quarry. So when we did contract rock, we had them deliver 10,000 tons to them. So that we could just load the trucks at the yard and then take them to work we needed.
Didn't make volume, just curious.
That's all right.
Can I ask, from the Salina Blacktop, sorry, old school, we call it Salina Blacktop.
Yeah.
To where the grain bins are,
Mhm.
what'd you use on that?
That's a little bit different type of chips. Yeah.
Cause that seems to has worked better than what's working now on the roads.
So wasn't that a fix?
And that road carries the grain trucks both ways.
And that's why
We did a cement stabilization on the rock subgrade by the solid base.
I'm going back to me here.
And then we put what they call an auto seal, which is a chip seal with more oil, and then a class stone on it to provide the block course for the chip seal. What we did on Pleasant Plain Road was a little bit of a tweak on that. So we did the chip seal and then put a course over the top to try and eliminate the rock chips, and put a course of oil and sand over the top. And it worked well up on 110 because the sand was dry and it came out and it distributed evenly. Then we had a rainstorm before we did it on Pleasant Plain Road, so the sand was more clumpy as it came out of the spreader. And the moisture, as the sand dried, it sucked the oil up into the sand, and then it got caught in the tires after the rain, after we put it down. Holy mess, everything is that oil laden, oil soaked sand was thrown on vehicles, and so we ended up doing so many car washes last year.
Didn't Salina Road have a problem? They had to come back and do another fix on top
Oh,
of
they
it.
stuck.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect from the get.
No, and I have to say, I've been back here 10 years. I lived down in California, and the year they redid this line of blacktop, I drove on it, came back, and I asked my parents what the H is wrong with the road. My dad was chuckled because that's when chips and windows were getting chipped and everything like that. There's so much repair on it now, and they came out and put gravel on spots. If I wanna drive on a gravel road, I can drive on a gravel road. But that road looks like it's been there for 30 years. It
We should
looks
ask
so
what the
bad.
process of Walton Road is now too.
Yeah,
Is that gonna be the same process and the same
and I will say,
multi-year thing?
I will say my brother lives on the East Main Street in Lockridge. And he goes, I don't know what happened. He goes, Henry County did something. And he goes, yes, it's still probably because the commercial trucks are driving on, but it's now crumbling on the edges, but yet it's smoother to drive on than the part that's in the Lockridge area. He goes, I don't feel like there's any difference in the road. And I'm being nice. You're like my brothers at work.
Well, that was same company done at the same time. It was a joint project between Henry County and Jefferson County, and it was the same company. It was LL Pelling. In answer to your question, Jeff, on Salina, that was boiler slag. And it's back when Tom Goff was here, and there was a miscommunication or misunderstanding of what we were thinking in terms of boiler slag, like what was on 185th. As opposed to what they were thinking, and they had little metal BBs was the boiler slag that they put on Salina Road. So to your point, so the tires were picking it up in the grooves of the tires and they were flinging it like slingshots. And we wiped out about $10,000 worth of windshields. And so what we did on that road was we went back over that road, we brought LL Pelling back in, went back over that road, about $170,000. I remember this, you were here then. And we put oil and liming chips over the top of that to hold that boiler slag down. And that's what's on that road now. In answer to your question, yes, the city did a very similar process on the Walton Road. That's not a county project, that's a city project. But let's just say, for example, and I'm not being facetious or flippant here, but let's just say, for example, that Cambridge come up and said, here's $2 million, Jefferson County, we want you to asphalt that road. And we'd say, thank you very much, we'd take you $2 million and we'd be a year out before we could get anybody in here to do it, because the only company we have that will do it in this neck of the woods is Norris Asphalt Paving, and they're so booked up that we can't just snap our fingers. Even if we had the money, they're not going to be able to come in and do the road. The other thing we have to do is design it, give it DOT, get approval, all those other things. But we would do it, we would work in that direction, but it wouldn't be something that would happen this construction season by any stretch of the imagination.
That's why I said last year, if the road category needs to change, we lost a whole year and didn't do anything for that category. Sounds like. How much more time we're gonna lose?
Could Abby have your, ma'am, could Abby have your name for the
Oh, I'm
record?
sorry, Brenda Dearest.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Joe.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
That's all right.
So back to the original question that Jeff brought up is something that we can. I mean, I don't know whether you can have two sets of speed limits, but certainly it's something we can, if we can, there's no reason why we can't do it, right?
That's correct. That's, if it's allowed, you guys are the ones to make it happen.
And I mean, I would be for that, but I also would be for some emphasis from, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? A presence that would emphasize the speed limit, right? In other words, our sheriff's department emphasizing what the speed limit is, and it's kind of like the seatbelt checks and that sort of thing.
If the city and the county are gonna patrol at hours of going work up to Pleasant Plain before the chip seal, they can do it after the chip seal.
Yeah.
If it's not, it's being done before the chip seal
Right, okay.
with speed checks from both organizations.
I heard no reason why not. So I will talk to, I'm sure Mark's listening anyway, but I'll talk to the sheriff and if you'll find out whether we can do that or not. So I don't know that we actually voted. I know we had a motion in a second. You want, what do you think? Let me ask you the question. Oh, that's property taxes. You want it slower than 45?
Should, if your problem is windshields, that he said on record is kicking the rocks for windshields, well, then how are you gonna control that?
Well, I'm talking about for cars in general.
Yeah, a big truck comes by, whether it's got flaps or not, it's kicking dust, kicking rocks. Push any car off, and you said Pleasant Plain doesn't have a shoulder.
Right.
Or guardrails. Gonna kick people off. People are afraid. Small cars.
We could reduce it all to 35.
And we did 45 last year.
If we can't
It's-
split the two.
It's your guys' call. I'm,
Well, I'm asking your guys' opinion whether or not you think 45 is slow enough. I don't drive the road every day. I drive it, but I don't drive the road every day.
That's what, maybe somebody needs to sit out there and go do the work.
I drove it.
Sit out there, watch the truck traffic, count cars, count trucks, watch the dust. Go do some research.
No, I drove it when we first put the chips down, the lining chips down, and I agree with you. There's no question that it was dusty, but I drove it, all of it. But I don't drive it every day. So I just don't, I don't go that direction, but we can always come back. We can start at 45 unless you think it should be lower than that. You guys are the ones that use it. You tell me. Or the cars are okay at 45 and maybe we can get the trucks at 35, at least see if we can get the trucks at 35. I don't know what the law allows. I'm not there yet. I don't know. But we can find out.
Do your homework in a week, figure out how to keep the dust down.
Yeah.
Don't waste efforts putting up signs and stuff. That's just wasted efforts and money.
Right.
At what point could the chips be brought back off of there?
after the oil stops oozing up.
Any estimation?
That's why we were doing it till September 15th, because you get a nice 100-degree day, that pavement temperature is gonna get up to 150.
The answer we were told when we asked the question was they had no plan to brush it off. It was just gonna let nature take its course and leave it at that.
That gray surface is not gonna absorb heat like,
Well, it's gonna absorb heat,
not like black asphalt.
but it's.
I mean, you'll drop your
it still
temperature 20
gets-
degrees.
Yeah, it still gets mighty hot. Whether it's gray or black, it's.
Mark, do you want to say something?
I just have one question for Mr. Vivacqua. Would lowering the speed limit with those trucks create an issue during your high traffic times before and after work with Cambridge, as far as the amount of cars that are coming in, say around 8 o'clock and leaving around 5?
I think the associates were worried about safety,
Okay,
from what I heard last week, including being communicated early enough, because we didn't get communication, so they couldn't plan for traffic, to your point.
sure.
So we have a motion on the 45 and we'll look to see about establishing a different rate for truck traffic.
Certainly.
We do have a motion and a second. I would like to see us reconsider to see if anything has improved before September 15th. So we might be able to extend or think of something else.
Yeah, I'm not being flippant here. I really am not. But and it may sound like it, and if it does, I apologize, but just leave it go. I just leave it go.
Okay, we do have a motion and a second. Are you guys ready to vote?
Yeah.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. And make note that Dwayne will check into a second speed limit for trucks. And then we'll go from there. In the meantime, if any of you are lucky enough to win the lottery and you don't know what you want to use it for.
Okay, move on.
Thank you.
Discuss maintaining current speed limits on all paved county roads until signs are modified. The governor has said we could take our 55 mile per hour and take it up to 60, which would be a big cost for the county. Other than buying a bunch of magic markers to change that, we probably should replace the signs.
Something like duct tape, but yeah, magic mark
And duct tape.
until it rains, I guess.
As I understand the legislation, we can do it with stickers. I've got Melissa calling on that today to find out what the price of stickers are, but even and availability. So even if we get the stickers ordered, I'm not sure when they're going to be available. So that was why I wanted to look into if we could hold the speed limit at 55 by ordinance. And I think Elizabeth was going to investigate that some. I don't know if she's had a chance to.
Yes, I have. So first of all, the law is not gonna go into effect till January 1st, but second.
January or July?
Excuse me, July. Sorry, July. But also it's unclear to me that we have to change the speed limit. It sounds like that's just the default. And that we still would have home rule to specify. I mean, like, if it's unsafe for us to change the speed limit to 60, I don't think the state can make us do that. So, I
You're
mean,
the
that-
lawyer. I'm just.
yeah, that's the way I was reading it. I just, I was looking at your email thread and I thought it seemed like everyone was just assuming that that was required, but I think that's the default. I think we can change it to that speed, but I don't know that we have to.
It's the statutory speed limit, so.
Statutory
Does
speed
that-
limits, but it's the default speed for the paved county roads.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can continue to do research on that, but it wasn't clear to me that it was something, and it told you how you could go about starting to implement that, and it mentioned stickers, but we still have the rule. So I don't know, it may change on of course, like the state, the paved roads that are operated by the state, but the county ones. I don't know that I don't read the law as saying that we have to do it.
I do have a comment. So they want to take it from 55 to 60. how many people are actually going 55? I've heard they're usually going 60.
I never.
So you I follow.
Then now we can go 65.
So, I'm thinking, if you really want to know what they're doing, get out and write the tickets.
Yeah, well, that's,
Chairman, can I make one statement?
You bet you
I'm
can.
on record.
Thank you.
People know that you aren't gonna get picked up 5 mile an hour speed limit anyway.
No, that's right.
They don't have anything else better to do, they might stop you, or you got a light out or something, they might stop you.
Yeah.
So don't fuss around and worry about the stuff that really doesn't matter.
So de facto, it's already 60.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, that's my point,
Yeah.
Dick. I just,
Wait, you mean it wasn't 60 already?
I suggested that we give the high school seniors a project. They'd love to go out and spray paint all of the signs.
I'm not sure what they.
I'm not giving my name.
I just think we should leave well enough alone for a while here.
His name is Steve
Sorry.
Winnie. Yeah, whatever works. To Dick's point, I never speed, but that's because I thought it was already 60. And so I was only 5 miles an hour over the 5.
So are you saying we should just leave this alone right now, Lee? I think that's what I hear you say.
Well, that's what we're suggesting, right? So,
yeah, we just have discuss on the agenda because
Yeah.
I wanted you
Yeah.
guys to be
Yeah.
aware of this and
right.
definitely get your input and get you guys thinking about it.
So the way that I look at it, is just that there are kind of de facto speed limits by statute. Is that correct, Dwayne? Like, if it's like in a residential, you can assume that it's 25. If it's- you can assume that it's 35 if you don't see the speed limit. However, I believe that counties and towns are able to adjust those statutory speed limits, certainly under
No.
the maximum if there are specific reasons why. So that's the way that I look at it. Again, I can continue to do research. It will change January 1st. I feel like probably, oh my gosh, why did I keep saying that? July, thank you, July.
He was
So-
just testing you.
The problem that I can foresee is if, somebody would be given a ticket for driving over the speed limit and then they could just argue that that's the default speed limit. But again, I think that we still have the ability to make less than that default.
But that would have to be by resolution. Because right now they're posted because it's statute.
Okay,
So.
I mean,
that's-
so
isn't
I
it?
guess a resolution is something that we can consider if you guys don't want to change it. But again, I will continue to research.
We're gonna have to do what the state recommends. We can't have 55 here and then go to a different county and go to 60 and back. That, am I reading that wrong?
I believe that you can, well, so the conversation, at least the email that you CC'd me on was about making sure that paved roads within the county are safe for people to travel at 60 miles per hour. And correct me if I'm wrong, Dwayne, but it seemed like there was some conversation about whether or not moving the speed limit to 60 would increase potential risk for drivers if there are specific turns or what have you. So I think if there's justification to keep it at a certain speed limit, I believe that we would be within our legal right to do so.
The last 40 minutes of conversation about road quality, does increasing the speed limit reduce the life of a road? Then yes, there's our reason.
Well, speed limit doesn't, it's more the loads than the traffic. There's a car is kind of like a gnat on an elephant's back. It doesn't really do a lot to impact the road. It's the heavy loads that cause the road damage. The roads are designed for 80,000 pound loads. So anytime you oversize load or an overweight load, that causes more damage. But
The
cars
cars
drive
live
fast.
faster when they're going 60 versus 55, and there's the cost.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
the
Don't mess
you
with it.
know, case in point, if you look at Libertyville Road, it was designed in the late 70s when the speed limit was 55. We've got curves on there that are posted at 45 but it's 55 mile an hour. And probably from 223rd to the Libertyville city limits, it would be safe to travel at 60 miles an hour. From 223rd into Key with all the curves and the short sight distances on the hills, 55 is pushing it and 45 probably safer. Pleasant Plain Road with the curves and the hills and limited sight distance. 55 miles an hour is probably all the faster you want people to go on that. Packwood Road, other than the S curve south of Packwood, is pretty much a flat, straight road, so you can get by with going faster. So that's, how much time do you guys want me to spend on that, doing traffic studies to justify it, or if we can keep it at 55? I don't know. The County Engineers Service Bureau has their people doing research, trying to get guidance from the DOT and from the attorney generals, and all of the other county engineers are discussing this with their county attorneys. It
I just think,
appears to be a poorly worded law.
I just think we need to sleep the dogs lie and move on.
Well, there you go.
Well, regardless, we'll need a resolution at some point.
Hopefully the next week or so we'll know
Keep
more.
looking into
Check into the
it.
cost of the lettering.
I should know that later today.
All 99 counties is gonna try it one time, so it's gonna be a long process.
Well, the next
I
item,
like his idea about spray painting the signs because it could be a community service project.
It's a civics learning opportunity for the kids.
Yeah.
I hope does need
Give them
community
some
service.
non-alcoholic beer and some spray can.
well, if we're all ready to move on, let's meet with the ambulance director who probably breaks the speed limit laws every time they drive an ambulance. Go on, your turn.
He's got birthday scissors sitting here.
Two of them.
Thanks, Dwayne.
We always, no, I won't.
No, don't go there.
All right, so numbers for May, we had 159 calls for service. Of those, 30 were transfers from Jefferson County Health Center. Collections were down compared to previous months, 46,226 for the month of May.
When you say down, what do you mean?
Well, so just for example, April was 74,000
Haven't been paid yet?
likely.
Okay.
Yeah. And the way they do it, like it's weird. They on the website, when we look at collections and stuff, it is just the amount of money that came in that calendar month. It's not related to the calls we had during that
Right.
calendar month. So yeah. So next month it might be, 80, 85. So
And what are we averaging on calls per month? Is that pretty much consistent?
yeah, that's pretty on point. Yep. Staffing, we still have a full-time paramedic spot open, so we're still hoping and praying that we can find some paramedic that's
How about one of the ones we just hired that was interested in full-time? Just a question.
not at this time.
Okay,
We'll say that.
okay.
Training program, still waiting to hear back from the field rep. I did talk to her a couple weeks ago. We had a pretty good conversation. There's been a little bit of back and forth since then. Just she needs, some of the things have changed in our original plan, like a different medical director for the training program than what we originally submitted. She wanted a little bit more detail on how the program will actually work. So hopefully this week we'll have some more information on that and then we can move forward. My original plan kind of got shut down. Actually, definitely got shut down. I was hoping to start with a paramedic class in the fall. And she is adamantly against that because she wants to see how a shorter EMT class would go, which, I mean, I understand it. So we'll start with an EMT class and then we'll move forward from there. Other than that, I will not be here next week. I'm going on vacation. My wife thinks we need a 10-year anniversary vacation, so I'll be in Florida. So.
And where's your wife gonna be?
At home. She thinks we need some separation now. So I won't be here for Monday's meeting, but yeah,
Don't sunburn yourself.
I'll try. We'll see how it goes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Were you surprised?
Next item on the agenda is discuss and consider 1162 Raspberry, East Pleasant Plain.
So we own the county,
That's right.
and I went up the other day and took pictures, and then we subsequently have been on a road tour and went past the property. It is timber now. Just being a little flippant. It's in desperate need of love, and there's to me, it's a double-edged sword, I guess. On the one hand, we want it cleaned up, we want to get back on the property tax rolls, and on the other hand, it's kind of difficult to say, Abby, clean your property, when we own property that needs cleaned as well. And so my thought process has been all along, and Elizabeth and I have had conversations back and forth. Personally speaking for myself, I'm not interested in charging somebody or selling the property per se. I'm interested in a process where we submit, I'm going to call it an RFP, but that's not exactly what it is. But we put out a request for anybody that's interested in this property at East Pleasant Plain. And in exchange for cleaning up the property, including removing all structures, we can put, with the exception of the house, but if they're not going to remove the house, it has to be restored. Once it's all cleaned up to our satisfaction in an allotted time frame, whatever that is, 6 months, 9 months, we will leave the property over to the individuals. That being said, if you say, well, okay, what are you going to do if you get 10 entities that want to have access to that property? Then we put the names in Abby's coffee cup, hold it up in the air, and somebody
Got coffee, and I can't do that.
and we draw out a name. We enter into a contractual agreement with that individual or individuals, spelling out what the requirements are to be able to obtain that property. Once we deed it over, then it goes back on the tax rolls. And having seen the property, and the pictures really don't do it justice, having seen the property, there's going to be a significant expense of being able to clear that property, even just to get to the structures that need to be removed. And so my point is that charging somebody for that property on top of the expense of having to dispose of everything that's on it and clean it up would be enormous, and frankly, the property is not worth it.
What property is it?
1162, the late Larry Fay Boyd property in East Pleasant
The
Plain.
one we cleaned up.
Yes, yes.
You did a marvelous job.
It was clean then.
Oh, I
Yeah.
saw it, it was
I
nice.
stood there with the sheriff.
Yeah,
You
Lee,
literally cannot even see the house now.
My comment is, I agree with this, but I also know there's several other properties in East Pleasant Plain that need something done with them.
And I agree
And
with that,
I think we should just do it all at once.
but how do I go pointing fingers at property A when property B, which I own, is worse than
Well, then you
property
should clean
A?
it up if you want it.
There you go, and that's exactly what I'm wanting to do, but I'm wanting, yes,
If you get names in, then I would have them write what they plan to do with the property. And then you can look and see what's gonna benefit the area the most to pick who
Well, and
So you're
yes,
drawing a number out now.
and there would actually be a contractual or contractual agreement in writing as to what our level of expectation is, because our level of expectation is what counts,
Right.
at least in my opinion. Yes,
So, hi. So as we've discussed this previously, and I think the understanding was, well, first of all, I'll say what I believe we should do next is maybe a member of the board, myself and Mark get together and maybe talk through this process. Because as you mentioned, I think we are going to be kind of requesting proposals from individuals with specifications that we have, like you have to clean up the property, et cetera, and then they could present their proposals to us. And if there are multiple ones, then draw out of that hat, assuming that their proposals meet all the requirements that you've already set out. Additionally, I don't know that we can withhold the deed. I would say legally, the best thing would be to do is deed the property over to them, but then in the memorandum of understanding, say that we will forgive the special tax assessment if the property owner cleans up the property as specified in the MOU.
okay, so basically what we're saying is if I hear you right, if I understand you right, because there's roughly, I think Mark's up there, yeah, Mark's up there. I think there's roughly $40,000 owed against it, Mark.
Keep going.
Keep going, okay, so there's a few dollars owed against it, and that we would ultimately end up forgiving those dollars.
The reason why I state that is because I don't know that any property owner is going to go into a property that they don't own and invest the amount of money that they would have to do. Also, I mean, our county liability, if someone gets injured on the property while they're cleaning it up, I just think that there are a lot of legal issues that we would have to work through in that scenario.
So that would be the contractual agreement, is that we would deed the property over ahead of time and forgive the,
Special tax assessment or part of it, whatever the board thinks is appropriate. That's why, again, I think it would be helpful for you or one member of the board, whoever wants to take this project on, meet with myself, and then I'm offering up Mark to meet with that and to meet as well. So
congratulations, Mark.
Yeah, I was gonna say congratulations.
Glad I just got
Why don't
voluntold.
you get on this team?
that's right.
I can.
You seem to
or-
have enough knowledge.
Well,
So,
I have a want, let me put it that way.
so hypothetically, I'm interested in it, put my name in,
Mhm.
do all of this, you deed
Oh, I
it to
like
me.
it.
6 months down the road or the end of the agreement, haven't done anything. What's gonna happen then? We gotta go through all that process again?
Well, I believe that would be a good thing that we could discuss at our meeting regarding what that memorandum of understanding between the parties looks like and what the county's recourse could potentially be.
They need some kind of skin in the game.
I
too.
would
don't-
imagine,
I don't know what it would consist of.
Would there be any kind of a vetting process to see whether or not the people are qualified to do this project? You know,
My concern, and I understand, I get where you're coming from. My concern is that I don't know exactly how to explain this, other than the fact that, like Mark said, I said 40,000, they said keep going.
yeah, you know,
And that's frankly scared a lot of people away, which it would scare me away, okay? Knowing what has to be done with that property, besides the back taxes that are owed on that property, of which part of that is what we originally put into that property way back when. And so I'm afraid if we use the terminology bid on the property and people went up to take a look at the property and they go, and I'm not gonna bid on that if I have to clean that up unless there's $40,000+ owed on the property. I was just looking for somebody or some buddies that were willing to come in and maybe that's not the correct answer. I don't know, but
Well, I think we could get people to put skin in the game like a number of different ways. Maybe it's not completely free for them to get the property, or again, that could be something that we would negotiate.
Well, my
But-
husband and I were talking with our realtor about something like that, and she suggested. Okay, if you have multiple people interested in the property, they have to put in 5,000 into an escrow account. And at the end of the time period, if nothing's been done, that money goes back to the county and you get the next person, but at least, it's enough that it's going to hurt the person if they don't start the
Right.
Yeah,
process.
do something.
But the taxes, they would not be owing any back taxes.
Correct.
Well,
Right.
I think they should potentially pay some of the back taxes, but not that special tax assessment. So, but again, it
Property is
should.
not paying the taxes on it.
Pardon?
The property is not worth paying the taxes on it.
Uh,
That's the whole problem.
well, no, not the special tax assessment.
No,
To
none
answer
of-
the,
I mean, it's
sorry,
$100,000.
to answer the original question,
Yeah.
what you term as vetting, someone else can determine as discriminating.
Yeah.
So there isn't a vetting process. Anybody can
See,
bid.
I disagree with that. When you make a contract with a person to do a road, you check them out. That's not discriminating. That you check them out.
Right, but this is property. This isn't a road. We're not hiring somebody. We're selling something.
Well, you kind of
Yeah,
are.
that's why we're not doing a bidding.
Yeah, we're sure not.
process.
It's two different things. And I understand what you're saying,
Request
but
for proposals,
Right.
and we would just make sure that the proposal matched whatever we determine
Right.
should.
And the issue is regarding the special assessment, that was about $8,000.
Oh,
So if we're in the $40,000 to $50,000 range, you can see that penalties and interest and everything have accumulated over the years. I don't remember what year it was, Dick, but it was in my first term that we did that. So it would have been in 2008, moving forward.
Probably 2004.
You're ready for.
I know that the process started and whatnot, so I just think we need to, and I mean, I appreciate the offer of letting me do it, but by the same token, if somebody else is different. I have my vision, maybe a different vision, yes, sir.
So it sounds like you're saying the structures on there are absolutely useless. So what, if you're creative, what would somebody potentially use the property for?
Build a house.
Just-
Yeah,
So I kind of looked at it on the map. I don't know, it's a small residential area, is that it?
well,
No commercial use?
It's probably at least an acre.
Yeah.
It's a good sized lot, it's a corner lot.
yeah,
But in Pleasant Plain, it's been a while since I've seen a vacant sale or a vacant lot sale in Pleasant Plain.
no. and I'm not saying
$5,000
it couldn't be
in a
commercial
clear
venture.
vacant
I'm
lot
not
would be a
saying
little
that.
there.
I'm just saying that.
I'm just trying to learn what,
Yeah.
if rumors are gonna spread,
Because we don't
let's spread
have-
rumors about what it can be used
Right.
for. So
And it's unincorporated, so there is no city zoning or anything that's involved in that. So that's why.
small data center.
exactly. I almost said it. You beat me by 1 second.
I'm gonna throw a number out. It's gonna cost $25,000 just to clean it up.
Oh, I'm sure you're right, Dick. I'm sure
Just
you're
to
right.
clean it up. I don't care if you burn it down.
And in answer to your question, yes, to get to some of those structures, it
Now,
has
there may be some metal you might be able to scrap or something out of those.
first too, and there's
It's-
a couple of old mobile homes on there. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, it's just everybody, two people were talking at the same time, so I know that there's.
So yeah, there's some old mobile homes out there. There was actually a house.
So nothing toxic potentially, in there, nothing. They weren't running them.
22 years ago, I.
Well, no, they weren't
I was
running.
afraid to walk on the front porch because it was gonna cave in. To talk to the owner.
Yeah, it was, at one point in time, there was a big tree in the front yard that was blown over and crushed the garage, and they just left it. That's one of the things that the county cleaned up. Like I said,
Are all four sides residential, or is it cornfields or fields on one
It's
side?
in town,
yeah, it's in town. There's no ag right there. There is just right up the block,
yeah.
but
That's not a problem.
no.
If I had money, I'd build a big natural forest there. That sounds like it's right.
It's already got a natural forest there. So, however you want to do it, whether it's me or whether it's Joe, whether it's Susie, but I do want to move forward on this.
I'd like this to be you. I have too many relatives or acquaintances in that area,
Yeah.
I need to stay away from that.
Chairman, I'd like to make one more comment and I'll leave.
Sure, no, you don't have to leave.
I think the county went through the process. They're getting it cleaned up.
Yeah.
And then they let it slide. It's the county's responsibility to clean it up. It truly is. And then, I don't care what you do, if burn it, the house down or whatever, and then you got something to market. And you'll get out from underneath that bucket of worms. Yeah, you're gonna spend some money, but all you've been doing is wasting money by keeping it anyway. How many times you have to take and do something twice to get rid of it?
You mean clean it up, make it more appealing? So-
Yes, right. I mean, if you're gonna do it right. Okay,
You know, that is a point.
it's,
That used to be a very, very pretty corner.
It is. I mean, there's no question about it. I don't
I'm
disagree
sure
with
it's
that at
still
all.
underneath there. Yeah.
But where are you gonna find $25,000?
25,000 probably ain't gonna do it.
Right. And that's, so my point is that if somebody else is willing to invest that type of time and effort and financial resources to do it, but we have control over what, when, and how, then we don't invest tax dollars in it. We get it back on the tax rolls. The people that have skin in the game, as the case may be, and maybe some earnest money up front, that can be refunded once how that looks would be between Elizabeth and Mark and Joe.
So Lee, what kind of tax do we, okay, I'm gonna ask a question, kids.
Okay.
What kind of tax money do we get when it's in good property, good shape? What did we get?
Right now,
from tax?
probably not a lot.
No,
Mark.
what did we get then? How's that? I'm just wondering if it's worth it.
I don't know, maybe, I don't know, less than $1,000 a year.
I'm sure.
it shouldn't be that much. There shouldn't be
$300.
dollars against it, it's only $1,000 a year.
Well, but you got your cleanup tax on there,
But that's the
Yeah.
special
but that's a
assessment,
special
right.
assessment.
But
That's-
it accumulates in interest
And
for
the sewage.
20 years.
Because
Oh,
now
is
it's
there
on-
sewage against
yeah,
it? Which is another special assessment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cause they raised it up to $73 a month now.
which the county's been paying, by the way, but it goes on those tax rolls.
Sure.
So what you said, it's $70 a month, whatever it is now. We pay that because it's unincorporated, and that's the agreement, the 2080 agreement that we have with regional utility service systems. And then we apply it to the taxes that aren't being paid. So
So Russ charges us monthly, even with the condition of the property, is that what you're saying?
Oh, yes, we got charged even without a house on it until we put a plug on it.
yeah. Yeah, that's a 2080 agreement that the county entered into when regional utility service systems were developed, and
Mhm.
we did they did Lindy. They did East Pleasant Plain and Pleasant Plain, and ostensibly, usually the property owner pays their taxes, and so we get reimbursed that X amount of dollars, but in this particular instance, and I can't remember now, 2012, when the sewer came into being? It's been that long? Was it?
Yeah, roughly.
So,
Mhm.
clearly, it, at the very latest was 2016, so you're still talking 10 years from anywhere between $50 to $70 a month, depending upon the years that it was not being paid. So that interest accumulates on top of that. So even if it's $50 a month, that's $600 a year in addition to the property taxes. And so that's 16,000 in addition to the $8,000 that we paid to clean it up is 24. And then what's the interest rate, Mark, and the penalties?
Thanks.
1.5% a month. Right now, you guys are looking at about $300 a year. Average over the course of the last 5 or 6 years for property taxes. One thing that I want you guys to keep in mind though, a week from today is our tax sale. Happens the third Monday in June every year. So whatever you guys decide here, everything would need to be done, say within that third Monday in June the following year, because if there's any money left over, i.e. special assessments, delinquent taxes, anything like that, it would be subject to tax sale. So it could create another issue down the line.
So I would ask the chair to appoint Joe.
Who, Joe?
Joe, are you willing to accept this?
I just want you aware, I do have family that lives next door, but I will do what I can.
Next door?
Yes.
Next door, my aunt.
So
Okay.
therefore it should go back to you.
Evidently.
This all feels very familiar. Is it possible to get really creative? I mean, I saw Drish up there. I don't know if it's the same Drish excavating, but if there was some excavating construction company who might want to take it at a great price,
That's my insurance man.
level it. Oh, is it? Well, sorry, Drish.
Yeah, it's different.
Level it and then they can make a profit on it
He's
themselves.
an excellent insurance man, if you're looking for insurance.
Okay, Lee, let's back to focus here.
Oh, okay. So, when do we meet, Elizabeth? Mark?
Is that
Hey.
something that could be determined between the three of us? I
Yeah.
would like to look at my schedule. I don't
Okay.
have like a date or a time.
Probably. Elizabeth, I want to make sure I understand this correctly. The county is going to take deed of this property and then turn around and sell it to someone, or the
Yes.
county will not take deed? Yes, the county
We
will
had
take
already
deed to the
taken
property.
deed, correct.
The
Yeah.
county has taken deed to this property.
Yeah,
Okay,
they notice, I mean, I sent the notices out, the right redemption period has expired.
okay.
Yeah.
So then once the county has taken this deed, could they, in essence, just abate these taxes?
Well, I think that the idea was that we would use the abatement of the taxes as leverage to negotiate with somebody who would take the property over to clean it up.
Okay, I just want to make sure I have my timeline correct with the tax sale and everything else. So
Right, yeah.
that's what I thought the conversation was, but yeah, just wanted to have it correct in my head. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So I would, why don't you look at your schedule?
I'll just send out an email and then we
Yeah.
can find a time to meet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That works.
Great.
All right. So whatever we do will be on the agenda so that you're aware of the process.
Okay.
And I would like to do this sooner than later because that property is not getting any better.
Yeah, we can meet this week
Um,
if it works for everybody.
okay, yeah, we got whole schedule, but I'll make it work somehow or another.
Okay.
I'll send Joe in my stead as the alternate.
You know, I really appreciate you stepping up.
That makes me taller. Nice.
Well, with the stool,
Yeah,
are we done with this?
if you are,
Next item on the agenda is discuss and consider abatement of taxes for 06-35-376-006.
I do believe that's property that Sean Morrissey owns.
I don't own it, but the park system does.
I think he works for them.
Okay,
So this property was a property that was last rented in 23 and should have been tax exempt for 24, which is what we're currently paying taxes on. So we're just asking if those taxes be abated.
so moving forward, how do we,
This would be the only year that it wasn't,
okay, thank you, thank you.
Very much.
exempted.
Okay, this is the house?
No, this is our new
Thank you.
campground.
It is the
Thanks,
campground.
guys.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it just, because I thought we removed all those parcels when we got that grant and I don't know if this particular one slipped through the cracks or
Yeah,
what.
whatever. I don't know what happened. But it just doesn't, it shouldn't be, have been taxed for 24.
So I'll make a motion to approve the abatement for the Jefferson County Conservation.
I'll second that motion. A motion, a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I want to bring up your road situation right quick before I leave.
Thank you.
On Glasgow Road, a few years ago, you made that 45 mph for safety reasons.
Right.
Why wouldn't you just make Pleasant Plain Road 45 mph for safety reasons?
Sure.
It's just a thought.
No, I'd be perfectly honest with you. Get a perfect world, I could move the magic wand and we could just asphalt.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. And I
Thanks,
would do
Steve.
it in a perfect world.
Next item on the agenda is discuss and consider liquor license for tipsy travelers.
I just can't. It's a liquor's license and your name is Tipsy Traveler.
What terrible name.
And where is Tipsy Travelers?
It's a mobile bar.
It's out of Kyoto.
They're coming down for the fair.
Booze on wheels?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Wait a minute, we're gonna have alcohol at the fair?
yeah,
Oh, what could go wrong?
is the sheriff I've seen.
He sent an email, it's in here that we have no
Okay.
issues
He's
with
okay
it.
with it.
Who is the person who does that?
Making,
Taking lead.
Well.
He has insurance and everything for it.
Yeah, I know, but what do you think? I really want to know, because I'm not necessarily all excited about this.
So when we had special events out there,
Yeah.
I had team in and, we had alcohol on grounds. There, a lot of fairs are doing it because that's how they're making their money.
Right.
I'm not,
But you're
I'm
not,
not in favor of it, but
you're not making the money.
I'm not making it.
Right. Well, I'm
I
trying to
don't know
figure out,
what percentage or anything, or something, I'm good, I don't know what, they're.
I'm trying to figure out where this is.
They're gonna be set up behind the grandstand.
There's the track, oh, behind the grandstand.
Yes. And I think it's gonna be on the outside of the fence rather than the inside.
So they'll have to fence the road off there. So
So
they'll have to be fenced off.
that's where all the carnival and stuff is, where all the kids are going.
Yeah.
Carnival's down there and the grandstand's over here, yes. I don't know, they tried it years ago and it kind of flopped, so.
All right, we're talking hard liquor, beer.
Yeah,
Hard liquor?
Well, Tito's handmade vodka, Captain Morgan, Crown Royale, Malibu. What I know about Captain Morgan is he likes Tito's vodka.
The host understands and agrees that a minimum of 30 days notice is required for licensing purposes.
I don't know if that is part of the, like working with the alcoholic and beverages division with the state. They've done that they're supposed to do.
Have they done everything?
Yeah, this is from the state.
And I'm just a trustee, I'm not.
I talked with Brent Pasha and it's for 2 evenings. He didn't say what the events were, but I'm sure it's probably the tractor pull and the quad races, is what I'm guessing.
Quad races are hard enough to keep under control. But they have all the gear back there already.
Yeah, they do, and that it's.
I'm not in favor.
There's nobody here to discuss it from the board.
I just don't think you need the alcohol at the county fair.
Well, I kind of agree with you, Lee, I really do.
It takes one to pull out on the highway and get hit
Yeah.
because somebody's drunk.
It's already a hard intersection. I mean, even though you got a stop sign there, you gotta pull out now. Already had a problem with kids running across there and getting it. Years
Right.
ago, that's why I kind of got off board, because I was already had it first.
Yeah.
And left with that.
Well,
So,
if the chair wants a motion, I'll make a motion not approve the what do you call it? Not contract, but permit.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second not to approve the Gypsy Travelers thing at the county fair. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hey, Elizabeth,
Yes, sir.
don't leave quite just yet.
Have to,
Oh, okay,
unfortunately.
my
I'm
bad.
so sorry.
No, that's all right.
Discuss and consider lot Dr. Permar funding.
Okay. As you recall, a few years back when we were, after we remodeled the First National Bank building, we hired a local entity to install safety locks with the cards and all that happy stuff. And the entity in question didn't have the financial wherewithal to buy all the parts and stuff. And so we provided $10,000 upfront, which is basically against county policy, but we did it. Eyes wide open. And we didn't get a completed product. So much so that we had to hire Permar to come in and finish at a cost of $6,645.
Repeat that, 6,000.
$645.
Now, to be fair, some of the equipment that was there was indeed used by Permar. And the actual amount was $10,339. We have asked the county attorney's office in the past, they have indeed sent a letter. We have the portion of that is we take the tax off, so the original amount was $5,967.78. And hosted access control was $243.15, so that would be separate. So it's just the $59.67.78. And I feel like that we should at least explore a small claims court for that round figure $6,000 to recoup the taxpayers.
Just for my knowledge, we gave them $10,000,
$10,339.
but you're saying you only want back $6,645.
Well, they used some of the stuff that he had put in. They did do some work and then just bail and we had.
Yeah, I'd like the whole 10,000 back from him.
Well, and that's certainly something that we can ask I was just thinking in terms of.
Because it's been, what, 3-4 years?
Yeah.
And there's been no attempt for them to
No.
solve this.
And
And no communication. I mean, I don't know.
they spent, according to them, they spent $4,866 on parts and labor. But part of that was installing a security camera. So that's why I'm just looking at what was done on the door locks because part of that was the security cameras.
Yeah.
And
And do
so
they work now? Did they work?
door locks and stuff,
Security cameras.
security cameras. Well, I don't know because I don't know where. I mean, yeah, I guess I can remember seeing pictures of the ambulance bays and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm saying is the 596778 was what was done in addition to all of the expenses. And I just feel like that, yeah, they put in the security cameras and that sort of thing, and we'll give them the kudos for that. But by going after the 5967, it kind of makes us whole, and it also probably allows us to go to small claims rather than district court. I don't know. That's why I was gonna have Elizabeth stay. but-
Yeah, then I sit here and think, if I owe you money or Joe money, you're gonna ask for some interest on that,
Sure.
It's just good business.
So I can give this information to county attorney's office and ask them to pursue this by what means necessary. But I guess what I want to know from the board is the 596778, and then I don't know if you want interest or something on that. I don't know how you want it every time.
So do you have an opinion?
If we can stay in small claims court, go with the $6,000.
Is that the limit in small claims?
Used to be 5. I don't know. I haven't looked for a long time. So I don't know.
See what the limit is on it.
But maybe if we reach out via a certified letter that's certified by the sheriff's department that says, hey, we're wanting to recoup these funds. This was the additional money that we spent. Because keep in mind that if you look at the dates, so the date on this is November of 24. This was the invoice we got from Permar. October of 23 was when we paid that $10,339. We waited a year and didn't get what we paid for. So I don't think we were unreasonable in that regard.
Not at all.
And, I don't want to be a horse's patoot, but, that was a lot of money that we paid upfront against normal county policy. Not finding fault with anybody. We knew, like I said, we went in eyes wide open, doing the individual a favor. And we didn't get what we paid for and had to pay an additional $6,000 to finish the job. And I just want the $6,000. Because they did do some stuff.
Yeah, if we can avoid going to court, stay in small claims, we got enough court cases going on now.
Oh, yeah.
See what the maximum is. Oh, you're gonna hand it to me? Okay.
Well, I've got this property up at East Pleasant Plains.
Oh, well, here, I'm handing it on.
No, you're good.
I'll give it to Elizabeth or Chauncey and see that.
Okay,
Thank you, Lee.
Yeah. I just could see the twinkle in your eye that you were excited about this.
So we had a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, motion and a second to do what? If I just wrote it on.
To pursue it.
Oh, okay.
Pursue it.
I guess I do.
He did second. No. Joe,
No, buddy.
did you make the
I
motion?
I moved that we pursue this.
Well, then I'll second it.
Now we've got it.
All those in favor?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Today, they are professional.
Discuss and consider Fry Electric estimate.
Oh, this is an Abby thing
Abby who?
or a Christie thing. So she's looking at Christie.
So
What's that?
since we opened up the door in my office,
Sure.
our cords were running along that wall.
Oh,
So now we don't have a printer cord or somewhere to plug in our printer, so we had 3 people come in and look at it. I only got 1 estimate back, so this is what I got. Okay.
how much is it for? Just curious.
It's beginner.
I know, I just want to hear her say it.
$566.
I suppose that's a lot better than tripping on a cord and having a big insurance claim.
Mm-hmm.
Any short person would do that.
We would have to.
Yeah.
Pay this after July 1st.
He did.
Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Most fun I've had in a long time.
Thank you, thank you.
You have to do what for July first?
I think you guys had your hands full.
July 1st.
After July first.
If we're using the buildings line.
Sure.
That was the question, whether or not we could, out of our buildings line item, which
Is that a motion?
it is.
I second that. A motion and a second to be paid after July 1st.
Out of our buildings line item.
Yep. Which is what Christie said. All those in favor signify by saying aye,
Aye.
aye. Next item, discuss and consider salary resolution.
Well, Abby has been just really busy with the posted.
Shannon just brought on page 3 of that resolution,
H3.
the very bottom one. We got a new number this morning, so let me give you.
You're at the bottom. Oh, so that's sweet.
She got it this morning.
Okay, yeah. All right.
And then Josh also gave her a sliding or pay scale feeding gonna be using. In case you want that.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Do we have to, can we just, do I have to read every single one of these?
No,
Okay. That's good. Okay. So,
You know, but Susie can.
okay. I'll do the little paragraph, Susan, and you can read all the numbers.
wish I could hear you.
Okay. Be it resolved by the Board of Supervisors, of Jefferson County, Iowa, that the following Jefferson County employees will be paid the following salary for the fiscal year effective July 1. Part-time employees will be paid the following amounts. And the one change that we had was Feral Emergency Management Coordinator went from 2939.58 to 2897.92. And then do I read all these?
They're gonna be published, public notice, aren't they anyway, Christie, in the paper? I don't think we need to. My thoughts.
Okay, so I make a motion to approve the salary resolution as presented.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That's it. The perfect position. Okay. Now where are we?
Discuss and consider fund transfer.
You have this one too.
Okay,
Oh, what's this?
yeah, so back up.
Okay.
No, thank you, Abby.
Oh, secondary road. Be it resolved by the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors, that the following wage rates and classifications of secondary road full-time employees be effective July 1st. This would include the longevity and their certifications, ranging in from 38.52 to 32.20. For a total of 148,509.13 for the base wage, and then, no.
That's the engineers.
Oh, that's the engine, oh, sorry. My bad. The engineer is $148,509.13 base wage. He doesn't get longevity or certifications. Motion.
I'll second, Joe can second it. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Okay. I'm out of stickers.
You are?
Yep, so that means I give it.
You'll have to get your new book. Next item is discuss and consider fund transfer.
Okay, what are we doing here? It is desired to transfer $9,715 from the basic fund to the Osage courthouse debt fund. Whereas it is desired to transfer $14,450 from the general basic fund to the roads debt service fund. Said transfers are required to cover the principal and interest payments to the respective general obligation bonds until the May and June property tax revenues are receipted. Whereas said operating transfers are in accordance with section 331.432 of the Code of Iowa. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Supervisors of Jefferson County as follows: a sum of $9,715 ordered to be transferred from general basic fund to the Osage / courthouse debt service effective May 28, 2026, and the sum of $14,450 is ordered to be transferred from the general basic fund to the roads debt service fund effective May 28, 2026. The auditor is directed to correct her books accordingly and to notify the treasurer of this operating transfer accompanying the notification with a copy of this resolution and the record the record of its adoption. Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Boy, Abby.
Oh.
Huh? You need another one of those? Is that a hint?
You get another page of this one.
No, please get.
That's.
Abby?
Oh.
My goodness, Abby. Take a day off and you would call it. Please tell me we don't have 4,332 pages to have to sign on.
I cannot promise that.
Oh,
That's an even 5,000.
okay.
A second on that, please.
Oh. That's done. Oh my.
You believe you looked at the bills?
I did, yes. And I initialed them.
Joe, can I get you this? I'm gonna get a little book on it. Just the top one. This one? Yeah. You need one? No, I got one.
All right.
Next item is to make committee reports. It's been a while.
All right. So, May 18th, I had early childhood. Update. So House File 2795 passed. ECI exists as we will continue to exist as we are currently constituted. DCAT ceases June 30th. Will be done. Legislative study process, not HHS, not an HS. It's a legislative study process, not an HHS study process. Level funding for FY27. It looks like part of the group that we may be incorporated into would be Van Buren, these are counties, Van Buren, Iowa, Kickup, Wapello, Muscatine, and ourselves. There'll be some others, I'm assuming as well. The funding for the parent cafe will go away. We have to find another source of budget funds. They changed the preschool scholarship application. You have to be below the 161% poverty guidelines. We don't expect we'll have as many probably applications, we just don't expect as many people to qualify. If that makes sense, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Um,
What was the prior to that? Do you know?
off the top of my head, no, but it was, I think that's for some reason 200% sticks in my
That's
mind.
what I remember, 200% poverty, so it's went down.
Looking at the dates here, so I put them in order. So RPC, which is regional or Area 15 regional planning. I think I've got it in here, but there was a couple of things I wanted to point out. We get staff reports for the different things that they're doing. And well, I think it's first ones, but anyway. They increased the mileage reimbursement to the federal rate. It had been considerably less than that. Still, they believe we're gonna end up funding to a certain extent the Agassiz project. In a Tonawanda. Here it is. Jefferson County submitted I submitted a STBG project for the Packwood Road pavement rehabilitation for FY 29. If you remember, we talked about that a little bit this morning. We approved that also at RPA, and the TAC committee had already approved it. Fairfield Water and Sewer, we are in the application phase for water main and sewer system improvements. The application is due by August of 2026. Area 15 is working on that. Notice Area 15 regional planning affiliate, transportation affiliate. Again, the rehabilitation project for Route B63 Packwood Road. The total length of the road is approximately 5.6 miles. The project is requesting $2,080,000 from STBG. That's where we just spoke about. The total project cost is $7,080,000. And, I'm very appreciative of the concerns that people have in regards to the conversation we had today about Pleasant Plain Road. And I know the things that we talked about, they don't want to hear, and I don't particularly want to say it. Like I said, I wish I could wave a magic wand and just put new asphalt on that road out there and be done with it. But the way the system is set up and what we have to operate under, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But and in answer to the question about planning ahead, that's exactly what was done here. It was planned ahead. What was going to be done, it was part of their 5-year road project. And it was done on schedule. There's just a lot of things that didn't cooperate that particular time. Like I say, the heat, the rain, everything, that's what I mean when I say a perfect storm. And I know the folks don't want to hear it, and I don't blame them for that, but it's not like we just said on Monday, hey, we're gonna go do this next Monday. So this was a project that was bid. and planned for and money budgeted for. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out like we had hoped. Jefferson County Conservation Cedar View Trail Paving Project. County is requesting an additional $180,000 for FY 27 due to rising costs. It was programmed for $318,000, but it will go to $712 in FY 26. The TAC committee approved it and RPC approved it on Thursday, May 20th. So that'll be moving forward as well. 1015 Transit. We had a very long meeting in closed session. I have a special meeting this coming Thursday regarding the personnel issues. We hired Anderson Larkin to come in and actually run the financials. We've taken that out of the hands of any of the employees. And I want to assure the public that the Director of Operations and the Transportation Director were did yeoman's work in trying to keep the financials going after our financial employee was unable to continue. But the board felt with the advice of council that it was best to bring in an outside entity to run the financials, to let the Director of Operations do what the Director of Operations is supposed to do. So we hired Anderson Larkin, so we'll be in the process, by the way, of finding a new auditor to audit the business, because they can't do both since they're the financial arm of the operation right now. So everybody, most people know, but we have roughly 110 employees, a large operation through 10 counties, plus handling the fixed routes for Ottumwa. We've grown exponentially. When we separated from the city of Ottumwa, we had 29 employees. And so we are providing a lot of jobs, and Jay Allison, our director, is doing a phenomenal job, as is Shane. It's just unfortunate that we had some hurdles, hiccups that we had to address. And that's part of what the special meeting is Thursday, is the ongoing addressing of those problems. And I think other than we met last week to continue the process of developing a data center ordinance with the help of the county attorney's office. And I don't know if I had anything else or not. If I do, I don't remember. At this point, I'm on drugs, so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
Told you.
I like to share, I guess.
Yeah, you do. And you do a tremendous job of it.
Well, I still got it.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so
Abby plays that same game. She said, well, I've still got mine.
I attended the, you done late?
Yeah.
I attended the data center meeting at with the city council. We all three was there and had a meeting on a Monday night.
We did road tour, I forgot.
Yeah. Oh, let's see, what else is on here? Been so far, I had the Regional Housing Trust Fund meeting on the 21st of May, and they were discussing that, so they make some of these loans, and then people either sell the property or they pass on and it moves on, and the attorneys don't follow up on things, or the real estate. So now they've got one hanging out there that there's a loan on a house and it's been sold, and don't know which way they're gonna go on it. And I had to leave for another meeting, so I don't know how they come out on that. Ambulance had an open house. Oh, shoot, I'll tell you, 3 weeks work here. Did the road tour on the Memorial Day, didn't we? No?
The 1st of June.
Yeah, the 1st of June. That's right. I'm a week behind.
Yeah, somebody didn't want
Uh,
to.
Done. Full of the word.
I'm gonna look at here. I know I had something else.
Well, you had a cold.
Yeah, I did. It drug me down. We met twice with the county attorney working on this data center stuff, and I assure people we are working on it, but it takes time. And I'm getting a lot of contacts about, a lot of emails, but we're moving as fast as we feel we should on. I know it's not fast enough, but we want to be sure we get things done right. Oh, I guess that's all I had. Gee whiz.
Madam Chair, can I interject something real quick?
I had some meetings with the Fairfield Resilient Action Network too, so. Okay,
Next week's agenda, probably, we should put on about Main Street Fairfield in light of the state auditor telling Henry County. So I talked to Shannon
What did
and
he tell Henry County?
they told Henry County that you can't give money to a nonprofit just because if there's no economic development. I talked to Shannon
So
and
they don't think Main Street helps with that economic development of that town?
it's apparently,
Lee, they're building a Sonic. That's good.
well, yeah, but according to this, it says, the definition is revitalizing downtown, fostering economic growth, preserving historic landmarks, and building a sense of pride and community. By bringing Main Street to Fairfield, we can unlock resources, grants, and technical support. So Main Street isn't specifically a city thing or a county thing. It's a private, not-for-profit entity. And the state auditor ruled that was an improper expenditure. Henry County concurred that they couldn't, and I'm paraphrasing here because, but concurred that they couldn't define what the economic benefit was to the use of those public funds. I spoke with Shannon, and I think what we have to do, Christie, somehow now that it has to be worded on the agenda, that we just need to define.
What the public use is.
Yes. Okay. And then I think we're just getting ahead of the curve. Nobody's coming in to look at anything.
No, I agree with that.
So, but I
A
forgot.
little crazy to me, because this is not, they're certainly not the first county that has done that, so that's.
Right. No, I don't disagree. I just happened to see it in the paper that they got their hands slapped for it.
And you know, if you back up 25 years, Mount Pleasant, Henry County and Wapello County were nothing compared to what we had in this county.
Right. Right.
They now have Main Street, which has helped them.
The concern I have is this, and I'm not finding fault with anybody. It's just simply a concern. It's kind of like the deal we went through with Ikers. When the state starts sniffing around things and without really giving, I don't want to say this, they cite the code, which I understand, but they really don't give us definitions.
Well, I think they're wanting input from us.
Right, so now
Explain
we're
what we're
left to our
doing.
own devices
Yes.
to determine. But I'm afraid that the fallout can spread further. You know, what is the economic benefit?
Of having electricity, probably pretty good.
Well, I was saying, I've had the county fair. You know, certainly there's a benefit there, but I don't want us to be not confined, but having to define every single thing that we do to, what is the public
Purpose.
purpose of the economic benefit? I may be really.
Yeah,
out in left
I think it's for
field.
the public good. I think that's what they look at.
Yeah, so anyway, I just thought we needed to get it on, I'll just get that to you, get that on the agenda. And then Christie and Shannon can give us. Cause Shannon said, well, we just need to define she believes it serves the purpose. We just need to define what the economic benefit is.
So you want to be ahead of the game with protecting ourselves.
Right.
I agree with that.
So,
So that's a Mount Pleasant organization, right? So do they want to help Jefferson County?
well, it was Mount Pleasant Main Street, just like it's Fairfield Main Street, or Main Street, Fairfield Main Street, Mount Pleasant.
It's something each town can apply for through the state.
We contribute $1,000 a year over a period of 10 years. I don't know how much Henry County contributed,
7,500.
huh?
7,500.
7,500. See, I have to look, to be perfectly honest with you. Now, we didn't contribute this year because I double checked with Shannon. But I think that would apply to, well, it's called Grow Fairfield now, but I think it would have applied to FEDA as a not-for-profit or a nonprofit, whatever. Even though they bought land and sold land for profit, they reinvested that money into other land and stuff for economic development.
So not for the public purpose.
Well, that's
Sam?
that's
Well,
the
that's
area
probably
that's
for another
gray.
conversation.
Right.
Another next
But
week.
that's the area that's gray. But since we didn't fund that this year,
Mhm.
and the reason that came up was the 7,500, because that's, and we cut that back from that to 5,000 one year, and we didn't do anything this year. I know it was asked,
Yeah.
but that's what initially triggered my thought process. And then I remember, oh yeah, we did do this Main Street Fairfield, and so I wanted to make sure that we were functioning normally. Well, I don't know if we can function normally. But
Yeah. Are you done?
yes.
Okay, let me see. 2 data center meetings with the lawyers.
Why
The
were you
meeting-
pointing at AJ?
Huh?
Why were you pointing at AJ?
Who was it? This point.
I'm a lawyer in another life.
I see, okay.
The meeting we had with the city council, that joint meeting about
Yeah.
data centers.
Mhm.
All the calls and conversations and the 150 emails that I just got about, and I'm sure I'm gonna read all.
Congratulations, you got into your computer.
I did.
Yeah.
Let me see. I am on the Historical Preservation Committee. And the Bonfield Cabin folks had applied for money. And they did get some money from the Riverside Washington Foundation, or the Washington Riverboat Foundation. They got $55,000. Pretty sure they're gonna get some more from somebody else, but I am not at
Did you
liberty.
use that then to buy into the Texas Hold'em tournament at the casino to see if you could increase that funding?
We need to order a shepherd's hook, I've had several workforce meetings just dealing with the growing pains of our new region. I'm gonna have another meeting and I'll be able to report more on that. The coolest thing that I've done in the past, besides extension meetings, the coolest thing has been the Masden Barns. They had 2 tours come out there from Minnesota. Folks got on these big buses, had 80 folks show up
Wow.
on the coldest day of the year. Of course, the people from Minnesota didn't have a problem with how cold it
Well,
was.
no, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's true.
They really enjoyed looking at the barns and listening to Leon and Tony talk about what was going on there.
I like it out there, but not the coldest day of the year. I'm sorry.
But it was so cute. The lady, most of them were ladies, but there were some guys out there. There's one grandma had brought her little granddaughter who enjoyed the playground equipment. And so that was kind of neat hearing about that.
Can you imagine 20 below and they're on the playground again?
Was it 20 below?
You said the coldest day of the year.
Okay, I did say that, hitting at me.
Okay.
But the biggest thing the ladies thought was the peonies were coming out because they won't see peonies for another month, they said, in Minnesota.
Oh, they actually have flowers up there?
Lee, we were trying to promote our town.
I see, okay.
Run them down. Yeah. But I thought it was really nice meeting all those people. And Sam Humble and I and Tony at some point, we were gonna do the golf cart thing, take them around. It was fun.
Should have dunk tank.
Huh?
Should have dunk tank.
On the coldest day.
Well, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Already did it on the
Listen,
coldest day of the year.
Abby, it
Trust me.
depends who's in it, okay?
Yeah,
But, anyway, that's it.
all right. Oh. What did I do with my agenda?
I think public comments are next, and I think we probably already had enough public comments today.
You got something to say?
I wanted to say thank you for meeting me in the chemical aisle.
Yes.
This guy pretended like he was just another citizen for about 20 minutes while we talked. And then he gave me his name and I said, I know that name. In the back of my head, I thought, sounds like a politician.
Just another
But I better not
citizen.
say that. That might be an insult.
Just another citizen.
His picture's on the post office wall. That's where you've seen him before.
Yeah, like 8x10 glossy.
Thank you guys. That's a nice, really nice
Thanks for
civics
coming
lesson.
out. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Have a good day.
yeah, thanks y'all for what you do. Appreciate it. Mr.
We
Denny.
appreciate the compliment.
At any rate,
Thank you, sir. Shakes and nods to everybody else. Thank you, thank you. Take care, guys.
next, if there are no public comments,
I have one more thing.
oh,
Didn't get on the agenda.
Oh, no.
no, it's okay, public comment.
So I'm doing the street lighting there at 32nd Street.
Oh, yes,
Oh.
yes.
And I just need signature for Alliant so they can. So I put feeder base in there and try to
Okay,
get that.
okay.
I was gonna try, when I first talked to Joe about it, I was planning on doing that before fair, but.
Yes,
I'm not gonna get that done.
yeah.
For the Alliance.
Yeah, it's coming right up, isn't it?
Yeah. Alliant, also, we need to trim trees to be able to get to it. On your side. Do you have anybody?
I don't know who came out here and did it, who Dave hired this last time.
It's usually that. Eli Moore.
Eli Morgan. I've got a chainsaw, just cut it off about this high where it's handy.
Well, you know, that tree could be really nice, but it's just gone.
Yeah.
It's an old evergreen, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
but we gotta have it shaved off on the one side,
Yeah.
for Alliant to be able to come to the meter.
Is it the county, on the county property? Or is it city property?
No. It's the right of way.
Okay.
That's
No,
what I was
that's good.
told. Cause I met with Wyatt and he was, we were
Mhm.
trying to figure out, I was trying to do it as cheap as I could. Per se, so that's what I did. But I'm hoping that I can dig back and the wires seem to be good going back to the other light. So we're gonna put the meter base, or put a pedestal there by the electric panel and try to go back that way. If not, we may have to do plan two, which is having you buy a meter pole and setting that, but we'll have to check the line out first before we put power,
Mhm.
which I'm planning on doing here in a couple days, find out whether. I mean, I can obviously, it all good. So I'm assuming that the wire's okay there. The one on the other side though, I mean, the city's got,
Yeah.
they've had so much go through there, but that wire's broken. And I'm gonna try to break some more
You mean they cut the wire and didn't repair it? Is that what you're saying?
on the city side. But let's see, then, the DOT gave it. It goes been going back and forth with the line, trying to get the line to fix it. But it's just, that side is a mess.
Who'd you say? I guess probably should reach out to Dwayne, since it's in the right of way as to
Yeah.
who he wants
Yes,
to.
That's what I do.
Right-of-way and stuff. You have to talk to Dwayne about it.
But in the meantime, you can sign the.
Here, I just thought it was changing bulbs and everything was fine.
Do you have something to sign?
Yeah.
Do you have something for me to sign?
Yeah.
Hey, we're talking about,
you explain it to her.
outside fairgrounds and stuff.
Make
Change their light bulbs and stuff up there, and Susie's signing paperwork, but we need to have the tree trimmed out there, that's in the right of way, and I just,
Site
we just wondered if you had somebody specific or in particular that you would like to
I
do
don't know
that,
what you
not
have for
necessarily
site
have me
information.
go, but somebody that you would
Mhm.
normally.
And I filled out what.
Sure,
what I
sure.
had, I think, should
Okay,
have,
Let me look at the back page.
yeah, that's what I was. And I wonder if I didn't print that
well,
off.
why don't I let you talk to it here and you guys can coordinate and
Thanks for helping my brother
that way
with this
there's.
cabin down there.
Nothing that man, if we need to hire somebody, you can let us know. So he's,
I bet I didn't print the back page off.
I don't know, I'll let you talk
Your
to him, he's
computer,
right here,
Alex.
so.
Anybody?
This is Dwayne. He said normally they do their own tree stuff, but you guys work it out.
Yeah, I didn't know if I tried to get in line to, I've had like pull to.
Yeah.
Well, the fair is it's the 23rd, 4th, that week. But I'm not, I don't think we're gonna get to, I'm working on the street light there on 32nd. Yeah, well, no, it's not, way the street light's back by the transformer, it's off the road by the transformer. I can meet you down there
Abby,
sometime,
where do I sign that?
you know.
I can't find a reasonable place. Fair starts on the
This is Ben.
22nd. That's Fair Parade,
Wayne, sure, wasn't it?
23rd, 24th, I think, is the first day of the
Yeah.
fair.
I was sitting on Abby.
2 days ahead.
Something was going on. I
Okay,
was told something was going
all right,
on. that Tuesday.
641 919 8300. Okay, sounds good. Yep.
You said-
Must be on the free
Yeah, I'll bet.
Thank you.
Hey, when you get the page printed, we'll sign.
Well, that one, I need, whoever can fill out the information on where it's at. And the owner, which you just, I mean, how that is. For
Downstairs.
Make sure everything's okay down there.
Yeah,
Report back.
Yeah, I'm blushing ahead of it so that.
Let's hope not.
you.
Well, we're gonna take a break.
Well, you guys can go ahead and motion to adjourn.
We haven't done the claims yet.
Yeah,
Well, you can do that too.
we're fine. We'll wait for you.
Hurry up.
Hold on, give me a second. I forget I got a smartphone. Damn. No, there it is.
Hello.
What we're doing now.
Okay, I'm still in a meeting. When I'm done, I'll be right out. Okay.
Check it.
Okay.
You used to be on the fair board, didn't you?
Abby, these are my little people. At a horse show.
We had a couple events like the rodeo and stuff where we could maintain the area of that. But as far as being, we couldn't ever do anything out back. We had, I mean, you know, the sheriff's department's out there a lot. And the state patrol.
Was you on there when they tried putting it down in the Little League field,
Do what?
the beer garden down there? Did they try that once?
Yeah,
And
they tried that one, dude.
it was a flop.
Yeah.
I need more convincing. I don't think they have to have it there if they're.
I'm not so long. I mean, that, if you wanna go enjoy yourself.
We're to pause in the
or
meeting.
something, you know, or
salsas or whatever. Most of the fairs
It
don't have.
looks like the games are on the 12th and 6th of July,
Other than that,
which is Monday.
but that's another one
So
selling
if,
point
if
for
you want, we
fairs.
can either fly bar down
The
or
alcohol.
something. Which you need, just think about it, okay?
It's in the pits all the time.
All right, we'll see you.
Might as well have a-
The guys that want in the pits, okay, leave alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I think people, if they want to drink, I mean, that fair is not, I mean, out and about around the fair is probably not supposed to be drinking. I'd like to say they're gonna drink in back in the pits and.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can really do about it, but. Because
well,
we're
when
drinking around.
anybody here to represent it this morning and ask questions. I did talk to Brent Patient. It was a quick conversation.
Is he president now or is he,
I think so.
I couldn't remember if it was him or,
Filson?
Hmm?
Filson?
I knew Philson wasn't.
Okay.
No, I think it's
Brett
Brent.
is now.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole thing's changed. I haven't been out there for a couple of years. I mean, not that, just haven't had the opportunity to.
Are you ready to give us the?
Yeah,
report?
thank you for the
Following,
entertainment.
following at the
On the
mouth.
final page.
Hey, you're right.
Girl.
All right.
What's
That she's calling, foaming at the mouth. She's 2 hours early on her doctor's appointment. You can't convince her. So,
Here?
Good, I think so. You had the point last.
Well, mine's coming. Thank you.
Then you got the rest of it.
Mhm.
I'll just let you, when you. We could put a pin and mark that one that you understood.
All the way down.
Well, it's like all the rest of the contract you ever see, you ever read them? And
Lee, would you
That's-
like to give us the claims?
yeah, I make a motion, we allow claims and approved reports in the amount of
$107,128.55.
That was a motion. I second that. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
And since there is no motion to adjourn on the agenda, I guess we just have to. So you just got to.
Are you gonna make, are you making we have a motion to adjourn and
Second.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.